Animal Farm is a classic novel. It's a what is the word? Allegory? Is that the word? Yeah, where the whole story is basically a symbol for something else. And the story is basically about these animals that live on a farm, and they are very unhappy with the working conditions on this farm. They work so hard and they don't really get any rest for it. They're just kind of treated like barn animals because, literally speaking, that's what they are. And so they overthrow the farmer, and then they run the place. But the pigs are in charge of the revolution. And I guess I probably shouldn't spoil much further than that, because that's one of the earliest developments of the book. But I will say that the entire book is basically it's an allegory for the Bolshevik Revolution, which is like a real historic event. And the importance of studying this book and studying similar books is to develop the critical ability to surmise that a book that is written about something non-literally is still about the thing it's talking about, you know? To give a more recent example of something like this in fiction, if you play Genshin Impact, there's a moment in a story where history is rewritten. History is changed. And so in order to preserve the original version of that history before it was changed, one of the characters wrote a children's book where they recounted the events through an allegory. And I will say, I don't know what developments have happened, but I am like, to this day, even without any recent lore, I have not played Genshin for like 2 years, and I probably may never play again. Very strong chance that I'll never open the game again. The Boar Princess, I am about 99.9% sure, and have been since pretty much Inatsuma, that book is actually about the Tsarisa from Sneznaya. If it comes out that that book was about her this whole time, I would like royalties, because I've been cooking that theory for years and nobody was talking about it. I don't know if there's any developments that make that more obvious now though. But back in my day, there was like nothing. I'm just saying, that's what I've thought for a long time. And I am genuinely curious about like if they've released any new chapters to that book. Something I noticed is that they release chapters to that one less frequently, and it seems important, but it's just a kid's book. Like it's a storybook, so there's like no reason to, right? Except there is. There absolutely is. And it's because it's actually a history book. Why'd you read the book in school? What, Animal Farm? It is a legitimately incredibly valuable skill to be able to read something that is non-literal and understand what it's actually talking about. It's a very, very important skill. You need to be able to read things and get to the heart of what it's saying, even if it speaks in a way that isn't very clear. Because historically, that has been a method for novelists to discuss things while they're otherwise being actively censored. So you need to be able to read and understand something, even if it's censored. It's a very important form of critical thinking skills. So that is probably a big reason that Animal Farm is considered essential reading, like at a young age. It's an important skill to have. Highly recommend reading and developing the skill of reading, if you can. In fact, everybody can, to some extent or in some form. It may look different for certain people, but still. Everybody can at least develop the ability to think critically. And honestly, these days, that ability is dwindling for a lot of people. So it's more important now than ever. We gotta rely on our own intellect a little bit more, you know?